Good evening, good evening, good evening, and welcome to a new
Hello.
edition of Urban Something Alive. Gosh, I'm sitting here, I almost forgot the name of my show. Been a day, been a day,
It's
been a
your show. You
day.
can't forget it.
Forgetting what I'm going to say. I hope everybody's doing well today on this Monday. I think it's the heat. I probably got a little too much heat sitting in the house today, so I got an excuse, okay? So tonight we are here with um, MJ.
You
Help me get your
pronounce it
first
wrong.
name right.
It's
Huh?
Myeka.
Okay,
Myeka.
Myeka. I'm
Yes.
here with Myeka Johnson, better known as MJ,
Yes.
MJI Incorporated. And this young lady has a wealth of knowledge, and she's doing the darn thing, okay? She's a
Thank you.
true entrepreneur. She's just making waves in the industry, and I'm fortunate to know her and to work with her. And I think tonight, after we finish the show, you will see what I'm talking about, and you'll come away with some good nuggets. So, MJ, how you doing this evening?
I am doing great. Happy Monday.
Hey, that's right. It's a happy Monday coming out of the weekend. Happy Monday.
Oh yeah.
So, MJ is she's from born in South Carolina, been in the military. I believe she was in the Marines.
I
Okay,
was.
so she's tough. So hey, guys and gals, watch out. If you confront her, you gonna get towed down now. You know, doing the Marines. But she's working in the area of talent as a talent agent or talent. Someone who helps people further their careers or their business or whatever. She's doing it. So. Um, and now she's living in North Carolina temporarily. No telling where she'd be living at next week, but I know I can find her in North Carolina right now.
Just for right now.
So MJ, start us from the beginning. Okay, you come out of the Marines, you ready to do some stuff, to make your mark here in the world. So tell me, how did you get started in doing what you're doing? But first of all, tell the audience what you are doing, and then tell us how you got there.
Okay.
Okay.
So currently, I am the CEO of MJI. That stands for Myeka Johnson Incorporated. I from since I was a kid, you know how like most girls or guys say, "Hey, I want to be a teacher. I want to be a doctor, a lawyer." I was saying I want to be a CEO, and it's funny because I actually was watching TV and I saw an episode where I think I want to say it was Oprah. It was someone interviewing Bill Gates. Now I'm young. I don't understand what CEO means or being an entrepreneur, having your own business. But the more I listened to him, the more I kept telling myself I could do something like that. If I just have one idea that could, help me be CEO, have my own company, but not only that, to have a Fortune 500 company later on, that's what I want to do. But I've always had this idea to, how can I put this? Where I was born and raised and where I lived, I noticed that a lot of people had a lot of talent. They had the skills, they had what it took to go to the next level or to be successful to do whatever they needed to do. However, we did not have the resources. And I've always been that type of person that you give me a problem, I will solve it. So I'm like, that could be my idea where I have a company that if you come to me with a problem, I can help you solve it. So I had that idea in my head since I was a teenager. I put together my first event when I was 17 years old, a senior in high school. So even before I decided military or college, I was definitely going to be CEO, and that was going to be my business idea. And just like my company now, my first company was named after myself too, except it was like MJ's. It was called MJ's BU LLC because of MJ, my name, and just be yourself, which is what I believe. Still believe it to this day. And now we're back at MJI, which is my name, Myeka Johnson Inc.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with being humble. There's nothing wrong with being humble. Put your put your name on your own product, okay?
Hey, listen, it's
Hey,
business.
there's nothing wrong with doing that. So, how did you? Okay, how did you settle on the idea of working in the talent industry? Uh,
The company that I had when I was in my 20s, this is my second company, so I've been CEO twice. Prior to this company, we had when I say we, of course, all the employees and things like that, we had a business consulting firm, which means that we work with small companies, Fortune 500 companies, and we help them. Same thing. You come to us with a problem, we're going to help you solve that problem. Well, at the same time, I was in the industry myself. I was doing modeling and acting. So I've been on TV. I've done runway. I've done print. I was in the industry for at least, I would say, 14 years. Started when I was about 16, 17. Cut my hair off, was bald for like 6 years. Like I was doing it, with modeling and acting. And then I moved to New York. As you know, I was in New York. Um, and it's crazy because it was the first time I realized in New York that, yeah, you can be a model, you can be an actress, you can take classes, you can get some mentorship, but no one actually teaches you how to do the things. No one teaches you how to actually be a model, show you what to do, tell you what to do. So what I decided to do, same idea, same concept, is switch over from business to acting, modeling, the entertainment industry with the same concept. So same thing, you come to MJI, and not only will we book you for jobs, we book you for modeling, acting gigs, etc. But we'll teach you how to do it, and we'll also, if you have no idea on how to do it, maybe you just need some type of help or assistance on getting to that level to where you can work in the industry, from modeling, acting, even the music department, then we will help you get there through our development program, classes, mentorship. We also do consulting, which means that we consult with you on your portfolio and just what you want to do, how far you want to go as a model and actress, etc. So same thing, just a different name, a different company, same concept.
Okay, so we've been in this pandemic, which we're gradually coming out of now. So how have you done the teaching portion virtually?
Everything's done virtually. Last month, we officially 100% virtual, which means that we do everything online through Zoom, Facebook Live, whatever we're doing, Instagram Live, everything is virtual. Our goal right now is every office that we open for MJI, we're converting all of those offices into studios, which means that if you are someone that wants to get in the studio, work on your music, do a photo shoot, if you want to record a video, a commercial, etc. Instead of the talent coming in there and consulting with us and actually working out of the studio, they can just go to the studio and do that. As far as auditions, doing interviews, whatever you want to do as far as the model, actor, or rapper, singer, whatever you want to do, you do everything virtual. Our classes online. We do self-tape auditions, or sometimes we do live auditions on Zoom. I know a lot of companies sometimes have reached out to us and say, I want one of your talents to audition for something, but I want them to do the audition live on Zoom. Now, not only is that financially smart for us and everyone else, where you don't have to pay for a flight, a hotel, they can do everything from home, but it's a lot easier for the talent too, because I think you get really nervous having to be in front of people face to face. But if you are at home and you're comfortable in your own little area, your own little space, I think it gives them more confidence to actually do the live interviews. So,
But eventually they have to get from behind the computer and get in and go out into the
oh
public.
yeah, especially if they're
Yeah.
booked for something, yeah, you're gonna have to
Yeah.
do it. But I think it's just easier for talent that's new to the entertainment industry or just
Hmm.
getting in. Considering that we do all of our talent work every day, they're doing something, whether they're taking a class, they're auditioning, they're on sets. Everyone is always doing something. So after a while, once you get used to being in front of the camera, behind the scenes, doing auditions, by the time you actually have to go there to be face to face with the casting directors or the producer, you'll be good to go. I kind of feel like us going 100% virtual gives the talent more opportunities to learn and to teach them how to actually do everything, prior to how I used to do it, where you get a call, hey, I need you to be here tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. and you need to come in, you need to slate, audition, and then leave, and we'll call you later. So I just think it kind of gives them a better advantage.
Okay. Now, how many clients do you have at this time on the acting side? You want to be actors or in the arts?
So total acting, well, we kind of don't we combine everyone pretty much. So we have a total right now of about 70 talents, and then we have two to three. I think we have about three business owners, because we still do the consulting part for business owners too, especially if
Mhm.
they're in the industry. People that do lashes, people that do hair. You have CEOs that have their own company where they style the talent. So we work with them also. A couple of nonprofits also, but we're at about 70. We just signed someone probably an hour before I got on this interview. So that's going to bring us to 71 starting tomorrow.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So you're growing and having fun. So that's great.
Yes, it is
That
fun.
is great.
Yes.
Yeah. So how do you decide you want to work with a talent when they come to you and they say, MJ, I want to work for you. I want you to be my agent. I want to sign you as my agent. How do you determine if that person is the right fit for you?
We so things have changed due to COVID, of course, but we do a phone interview. So that's the first thing I do. They'll email. If they call me or text me, I tell them send me an email with all your information. I respond with the email saying, "Hey, we'll give you a call." When I get on a call, I tell them exactly how MJI works, what to expect, what we can do for them, and I give them the opportunity to decide. Now, if they decide to work with us, one of the main things working at MJI, which I have it set up this way on purpose, because I want to make sure that you are still responsible for your career. Okay. So we work with a lot of people by communicating through email, but we also give them a certain, like a time frame of when they need to respond to casting calls. If they're not responding to emails, text messages, etc., we kind of assume they're not ready. But that's not a bad thing. If they're not ready, maybe it's not a good fit for them. We give them the opportunity to come back. So
Mm-hmm.
the plan is to get the men to show them how the industry really is. And if you ask any talent at MJI, I give them the actual visual of this is how the industry really is. Sometimes it's tough, sometimes it's easy, sometimes you have a good day, sometimes you have a bad day. You don't always work. Sometimes you work a lot depending on your portfolio. So once they're in, I give them that opportunity to see how it is. We have never had anyone except for one talent that said this is way too much for me. Maybe I don't want to be in the industry, and then they decided they want to put their contract on hold. But I give them access to some of the celebrities that I know, as far as taking their classes or just to be their mentor, so they can really see how it is. And so far, so good. A lot of them are making progress from taking classes. Being we have a movie audition coming up, movie project coming up here in a week. We have about four talent that's they're ready for their auditions. We have people on TV right now in commercials, etc. So it's pretty fun. It's pretty cool to see the progress, even when they're coming in with no experience, no resume, nothing. Just okay, I'm here, but I do want to be an actress. I do want to be a model. Okay, so let me show you how you can do that.
So why you haven't put this pretty face out there yet? Huh? Why
Because this
not?
pretty face is somewhat retired. So, like I said, I was actually doing modeling and acting for a
Uh-huh.
long time, and then I decided I was telling my acting coach, I was like, "Hey, I think I'm ready for like to be a full time actress, and I want to get into movies." And
Uh-huh.
then once I started training for it, I realized it's a little too early for me because my heart and my mind is still on being CEO. But I do plan on going back. So people are like, when are you gonna get back into acting and modeling? I am actually, but I'm not gonna do
Okay.
modeling.
Mm-hmm.
I want to be an actress. I actually want to be in movies, and I want to train for it. One of my favorite actresses is Angelina Jolie. I think she's a badass, and I feel like I'm a badass, so I can definitely see myself doing that. So
Mm-hmm.
that's my goal. But I think I'm gonna wait for a while. I've only not been doing anything for probably a year, so it hasn't been that long.
Oh,
So we'll
okay.
see. You
Okay.
may see me in a movie in like 5 years,
Oh,
big
okay.
time movie.
Now, how do you determine the fee structure when you're working with your talent? How did you determine that and what they have to put out, the investment they had to put out uh, for
Well, like
working
I
with
said,
you?
I have it set up to where I'll allow the talent to choose what they want to do for their career. So I don't
Mm-hmm.
micromanage. We have so many opportunities at MJI, and I send them all to the email. Or like if I have a last minute opportunity, free classes, I'll call. Hey, I have this going on. But I send everything to their email to let them know what's going on, and I let them choose. Now, of course, like I mentioned before, we give them a 30-day window to respond to something because after 30 days, I mean, before 30 days, you should know whether or not you're interested in the class, you're interested in working, again, book for a movie or a TV show. But I let them do it. So whatever they invest in, I always make sure they're getting something out of it. So, for example, if we have a class that's coming up, one of my celebrity friends may say, hey, I want to come to MJI and I'll teach a class for you. Okay, that's fine. I'll go into who's teaching the class, what it's about, how they can benefit from it, and what it can be used for later. So let's say we have a talent that wants to do modeling, but later on she wants to do acting. I would highly recommend her to take the class, just in case maybe the instructor goes away or the class no longer exists. Go ahead and take this acting class so you have an idea of what it is. And then once you feel like you can do both model and act, or if you just want to convert over from modeling to acting, you can do it that way. So the investment is based on them and what they want to do. Do I encourage them? Yes. But do I force them? No.
Now, when it comes, okay, you have a actor now who's doing great things in the industry, Mario. How did you meet up with Mario? How did you get
So
your
Mario is
staff?
actually not one of our talents. Mario
Okay.
is a friend of mine that's in the industry, and we have what we call the MJI Talent Tour, and that's
Hmm.
another beneficial things for our talent and our clients. So what it is that I go out and I either ask friends or I'm brave enough to actually DM or message celebrities and say, hey, could you do an interview with our host Tiana, which you've met Tiana before, one of our top
Right.
talents, to explain how it is in the industry, like the pros and cons, but to also tell your story on how you got there, the struggles, etc. And when, believe it or not, all of them say yes. I've never had anyone turn us down and say, no, I don't want to do the interview. I don't want to help out. And so with Mario, I reached out to him because I knew he was doing great. I've been following his career for a long time, and I feel like he'll be the perfect person to talk about his career, considering that he was booked for a lot of things before the pandemic. And once the pandemic hit, he was like not working. I want to say for at least about a year. And then around the time I asked him to do the MJI Talent Tour is when he got booked for Hustlers with J Lo, and then he also was booked for The King of Staten Island, and now he's on a new series. So that's basically what that is. And so, every time anyone, celebrity or not, if you're a CEO, public figure, anytime you help with MJI, I do something in return. Whether it's a magazine feature, invitation to an event, something. I do something for them. So out of appreciation for him doing that and knowing that he's doing great things, that's why I suggested that he be on the cover for June and July. Yeah.
Okay. Cool. 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 Now, so you decided the United States wasn't enough for you, that you had to go global. So tell us about your decision to go international.
Well, just from my, just being a smart businesswoman, a good businesswoman, I knew it was a good idea during the pandemic uh, to open offices or make money overseas versus in the States because of the economy, everything was going on. As you read, while we were going through everything with the pandemic and the economy crashing, everything that's going on, other countries were still thriving and still making money despite everything that was going on. So their economy wasn't as bad as ours. It was just that they also were struggling with the coronavirus and the loss, people dying from it. So I've always had the idea to open up an office in a different country or just in different countries in general. So some of the business partners that I do have in other countries were actually my clients. So some of them I've already worked with before with my last company, or they are current clients and business partners now. So when I was saying, hey, listen, I want to go ahead and just try to push it into other countries versus in the States right now, I reached out to my friends and my people that I knew, business partners, say, hey, how can I get over to your country? So I started setting it up to where we communicated. I even, hired a few people to open up an office in other countries for me, also helping me with marketing, which is really important, which is why it's really great for Urban Centennial to be overseas too, because not only am I, taking MJI over there, but with your magazine, you know how great that would be to have people from other countries being featured in your magazine, which is going to bring you more exposure, but also bring you more money. So
Mhm.
that's what I did, and it worked out. So far we have about two more countries we're considering. We're trying to get over in Japan right now. I used to live there actually when I was in the military, so I have a couple of friends there that I've talked to about it. And then We are in Sweden right now, but not 100%. We're trying to open up an office. We've been trying to put a bid out there for it, but we keep getting outbid on that part. But we are in India right now, and of course, everyone knows that India is kind of on hold right now due to the coronavirus. I guess
Mhm.
I don't know what it was, but I guess they have more cases and people are really dying and people are sick. So yeah, that's just my idea. I've been studying business. I always want to be CEO, so I just had that mindset to know let's go somewhere else for right now. But we're still in the States, and we still have business partners in the States, and we're doing well no matter where we are.
You're doing it. You're doing it. You're doing it. You
Well,
know.
I've been doing this for a long time. I mean, I was 17 when I started,
Uh-huh.
my business career, and I mean, I was successful, while I was in the military. I was still doing some things while I was traveling. But then when I got out of the military, that was my main focus.
Hmm.
CEO, I want to make a lot of money. I want to help a lot of people. And I did it. We did really well. My first company, we're doing really well this time around too. I'm just making more money and I have a easier lifestyle now. So before I was making a decent amount, but when you run a business, you're CEO, you get the typical you're tired, overworked. Sometimes you lose money, sometimes you have money. But I've built my career as a CEO so well that now I can work anytime I want as long as I'm making sure everything's in order. I can travel and I can work anywhere. So it's a great lifestyle. I mean, I feel like, I just celebrated my 32nd birthday a couple of
Okay,
days ago.
youngin.
Yeah, I'm still a little young, not young, young, but young.
Yeah.
But I feel like at my age, I'm doing really well.
Mhm.
Like life is great.
Mhm. Yeah, you are. You are. I give it to you. I give you kudos. You are doing it. You're doing it. Like I said, I mean, even old dog like me learning some stuff from you. You're really good at what you do.
I
That's
know business. I'm really good at
how
business. I know business.
I
Yeah, that's
know.
one
I
thing
know.
everyone knows me for, the
Hmm.
businesswoman. That's one thing I'm
Yeah,
really good at. And I
I
love it
know.
too.
Now, what advice would you give a young person, an old person, whomever, who decides they want to go into the business of the entertainment industry?
Ooh. Um, I thought she was gonna say what advice would you give, but okay, so what advice would you give for people that want to get in the entertainment industry?
Yeah.
I'm gonna say this. We get calls all day, every day. We have people that want to join the company, they want to sign with us. But number one, you got to stop thinking that you're going to be famous overnight. That's never going to happen unless you go viral or whatever. But if you actually want to work as an actress and model, you're not going to reach the top um, in 24 hours. You're probably not going to do it within the first 5 or 10 years. It's a long time before you actually get to a point to where you're a well-known actor or actress, even in the music industry. Okay, and I think a lot of people confuse social media with being successful than actually being successful. And I'll give you an example. So, like I'm 32, so the generation coming in, some of the people that's coming in now are a different generation as me. So when I was growing up, the only thing we had was Facebook, and Facebook we didn't have that until I was 18 years old. So Facebook came out when I was in high school, you know. So you had to do everything where people didn't see it. The only time people knew you were successful unless you made the newspaper or you were on TV or whatever. But now a lot of people think, well, this person has a lot of followers and comments and likes on social media, so that means that they're successful and they've made it. But you have to understand a lot of the followers and likes and all that stuff is fake. Number one. Number two, that does not make them successful as if you're thinking about it on a level of a serious actress and model. Because like I've told a lot of people, most producers, most casting directors, they do not care about your social media following, your likes, your comment. They actually want to know that you're working. So they're not going to go to your social media. They're going to look at your resume. They're going to look at your demo reel. They're going to look at your portfolio. They want to see if I put you in a room right now in front of casting directors and I say, scene, can you act for me? If I put you on the runway, can you walk for me? If I tell you to sing this note, can you sing it for me? So a lot of people get that confused with thinking, well, since they got 20,000 followers in 24 hours, which they probably paid for, that means that they're successful actress, models, and things like that. Speaking of that, Instagram models and actors are not actors and models like actual actors and models. So I'm not gonna say they're not real because you have had stories where people became famous, were in movies and did whatever from social media. It took them a long time, right? But there's a difference between social media actors and models and entertainers versus actual entertainers, models, musicians, etc. Two different things. Um, Number two, I would say, so don't come in thinking that you're going to be famous overnight. Number two, stop thinking you're going to work all the time, especially if you have no experience, if you don't have any material. It's going to take you a while to start working. Doesn't mean you're not going to work because you can actually have a look. We signed a talent, and not even 30 minutes after we signed her, she got booked for an international commercial. And that was just because we posted her on our social media and somebody saw it. We wanted to work with her ASAP. We set it up. We got the commercial done within 24 hours, and she was an international model. The first 30 minutes she worked with us, but that happens rarely. You're not gonna. That doesn't happen often, you know. So you don't want to come in thinking you're gonna work all the time because you're not. Now, if you have experience, you have your portfolio together, you know what you want, you have goals, and when it comes to the entertainment industry, if you can be put on the spot, then you will get hired. However, you still got to take in consideration that you got to have exposure. People have to know who you are. I think the positive, one of the pros working with MJI is because I used to be in the industry, and while I was in, I met a lot of celebrities. I worked with a lot of them. I still communicate with a lot. Some of them are my friends, you know. So they were able to come into MJI and assist the talent that need assistance to help them get to where they are now.
Mm-hmm.
So taking classes, I gave them permission to do direct casting. So I always tell talent when you're coming in, make sure you make a great impression because the moment one of our business partners say that hey they want to work with you, I'm going to tell them yes. Okay. So number one, don't think you're going to be famous overnight. Number two, don't think you're going to work all the time. And number three, you have to be consistent. Okay, that's with anything. So if you coming in, you say I want to be a model, I want to be an actress, I want to be a musician. You can't at first start responding to emails, you're calling, you're texting, whatever, and then you stop. Okay. One of the last things you want when it comes to being an entertainer is a gap on your resume or a timeline of when you didn't do anything for your career because the casting directors, producers, they're going to pay attention to that and they're going to question, well, why haven't you been working? What happened in 2019? Why were you not doing anything for that whole year? They want to
Mm-hmm.
know why because and when they see that, that's inconsistency. So to them, that means that you most likely probably are not serious about your
Okay.
career.
Okay, good. That's some good stuff. Good stuff there. I tell you, you can't get a whole lot in 30 minutes, but you can get some pretty good stuff down in 30 minutes. I tell you. I tell you.
Yeah.
Um, and I tell you, my viewing audience, uh, there's a big age gap between me and MJ. Okay, about 30 years. Okay, but I value her opinions. I value her input when it comes to working with her and working on the magazine and things of that nature. She's a very, very intelligent, bright entrepreneur. Like she says, she's only 32 years old, and I
Um,
mean, she's got a wealth of knowledge. Okay, and I value the knowledge the nuggets that she gives me and everything. You know, she always says, "Well, you know, you the boss, but I don't want you to get offended." Look, you're never too old to accept advice from anyone. Okay, that's one thing I want to leave with you all tonight. Okay, she's knowledgeable people, so if you get with her, she's going to do some good things for you. You know, so we've had the opportunity tonight to talk to MJ of MJI. You know,
yes.
who's doing her thing out there. She's making a mark. You know, if you know someone who wants to be in the entertainment industry and they need an agent, this is the person to get. I'm telling you right
Oh
now,
yeah.
you're gonna miss out on an opportunity you don't. So, MJ, how can people get in contact with you?
They can email us at Myeka, that's Myeka Johnson, JOHNSON, bookings at gmail.com. They can also follow us at MJI on Facebook and IG, or they can call our business number at 847-344-1264.
Okay. Now tomorrow night on Real World News TV, that's another show I do on Tuesday nights with my co-host Sharon Taffet. We're going to be just talking about the latest in the news. Okay, that's what.
Okay.
And here lately, that's what we've been doing. We really haven't been focused on a topic because there's so much going on in the news. So tomorrow night, we're just going to rehash the news, fuss and cuss about some of the things that are going on here in America and
Yeah.
why they're going on and try to figure it out. But again, this has been the Urban Sentinel Live Show. The Urban Sentinel Live Show is a part of the Urban Sentinel magazine, which came out today, and we got a great cover. We're doing a June, July issue this time. Give everybody a little break and, summertime, give my
Oh
writers a
yeah.
break. But we got a great cover of a actor whose real job is as of a fireman in New York City.
Oh yeah.
Okay, but he's a great actor and he's making waves. So go to issue.com, issuu.com, and look up the Urban Sentinel magazine, and it's free and read it. You'll enjoy it, and you'll
Oh
see some
yeah.
good stuff in there. Okay. So, look, it's time to go. MJ, thanks for being with
Of
me
course.
tonight. Um, I want to thank the audience for viewing us tonight. Look, you all have a great rest of the week. Enjoy yourselves. Just enjoy life, okay? We've been through a lot. We're coming out of the pandemic, so do your thing, okay? So good night, everyone. MJ, it was great having you again. I'll
Have a
be
great
talking
time.
to you. So good night, everyone. Peace.
Bye.